So, this is Brandon Herrera, cursed gun images that give you wood. Apparently.
Do I have to? Okay. What's going on, guys? Apparently things were going too well in my life.
And they can do that safely, because that was a silencer, and you can just take that off the gun. So there's no gun attached and pointed at people. I need to make sure this is muted. There we go.
Life. So now here we are doing another episode of Cursed Gun Images. Fuck you. My least favorite and one of your favorite internet shows where we just scour
100%.
the internet for cursed gun images. In this case, you submitted them and I had to look at them and we review them. Basically talk about why they suck, what's fucked up about them, and why you need to seek Christ.
Say Christ is Lord!
As always, I'm your host, Brandon Barbera. Let's get into the cursed gun images. We've got a lot of wild submissions this time, but we're gonna start this where a lot of people have to start out. In the ghetto.
Another little baby child is born in the ghetto.
Did you know that apparently you can convert an off-the-shelf flare gun into a 20-gauge shotgun? Apparently crackheads do. These are my favorite photos because these are obviously like police seizures. And they have the weapon itself, the ammunition it fires, and the instruments that were used to devise such a device.
Here's why this is a bad idea, regardless of how strong you think the flare gun, or you think the barrel is that you're putting on the flare gun. The flare gun is still plastic, and you need this bit to hold on to this bit, or else it explodes that way. That is important. That bicycle framing, that might be cut off a bicycle. That might be cut off a bike. Also, while we're thinking about it, because it's very clearly being referenced here, I never had any interest in playing Schedule 1. I never had any interest in watching people play Schedule 1. 3 people who I really, really like to watch have now played Schedule 1. And I can't help but think, alright, fine. I am considering at some point doing Schedule 1. But I want to know if anyone else has any interest in us doing Cursed Chore Simulator. Because I'm sure that's what it will turn into with me. For now, thank you for the redeem again. For now, back to this.
Yeah. What do you know? You shouldn't call them crackheads. There's a literal fucking crack pipe in the fuck. What do you want from me? Casual crack user. Is that better? Yeah, it looks like they just put a 20-gauge barrel, I guess. Something that's serving as one on a regular flare gun. Which, I mean, if you think about it, a flare gun, it's a hammer with a firing pin. Just clamped it on. Fucking bolt there. Remember, kids, never underestimate the ingenuity of a crack American. This little beauty here was seized by Queensland police.
What?
Right cursed gun in it.
You say that in Australia?
I don't know. Croy.
Probably because they don't understand firearms because they're not allowed to have them.
What a cursed gun! Accompanied with the news article, weapons seized, Rockhampton. The Rockhampton Tactical Crime Squad charged 2 men with several weapons and drug-related offenses. Following 2 search warrants in the Rockhampton area last week. It will be alleged police located and seized a shotgun, rifle, and ammunition from the property. That sure as shit does not look like any of those things. Can't tell if this is...
It could also be that they just can't identify them, so they called them whatever they thought they could call them. You can tell what I think of them. It could be in 410. That could be 410. Which would also be 45 long Colt, which would mean this is both the rifle and the shotgun.
This is made of like like a 3D printed frame, or if it's just all Bondo epoxy. A little fucking dongle up front as a foregrip Bondo. I can't tell if this is made.
I don't think it's 3D printed. You can see, but it's used in rifles. I don't think it's 3D printed. I could see where this could make it look like it, but it looks like, especially with this down here, it looks like a cheap grip off of some other type of tool. That where this would be like a battery or attachment would have gone in once upon a time. Like this could possibly be the grip off of a type of nail gun, where instead of just going with 22 nail gun, they actually tried to use the nail gun hammer and add a real barrel and heavier caliber. Wait, did it say 22?
That sure as shit. The alleged police and ammunition from the property. That sure as shit. Tactical crime squad charged 2 men with several weapons and drug-related offenses.
Did it? Where?
Right cursed gun in it.
They say that in Australia.
I don't know. Crikey, what a cursed gun! Accompanied with the news.
I guess I imagine the 22-bit. Okay, so never mind. That's not 22. It could very well be 410-45, like you said.
Article: weapons seized right in an area property. Like a 3D printed frame, or if it's just all Bondo epoxy. A little fucking dongle up front as a foregrip. And of course, to round out the crackhead trifecta, more literal crack. East Bay Regional Park Police, I assume, on 12/30/25, swing shift officers contacted a subject for a curfew violation. What the fucking curfew violation? The fuck do you live, 1984? But, yeah. They seized an Apple Watch.
Cool. Someone trying to make a sword. Questionable pieces. That looks like a piece of ammunition. Multiple pieces. What is that? What is that even made out of? Is that a Nerf gun? That could be a converted Nerf gun, which I would be too scared to try to use.
An improvised firearm,
Oh my gosh, it is a Nerf gun. Oh no. Yeah, it's got that Nerf blue underneath it, doesn't it? Oh my gosh. They tried to convert a Nerf gun or a knockoff dart gun into a firearm. Oh my gosh, that is... They didn't follow this at all. That is horrifying. Actually, I don't know. Maybe they did. I have never even heard of this particular one before. It could be that whoever wrote that has no idea what they're talking about.
Black book of improvised munitions, a vial that I cannot read, so I will assume is ketamine, 2 shotgun shells, I think 7.62 by 25 round, a little Coke baggie, and some crack. Oh, and a gun. Yeah, there's no fucking chance that thing fires. It looks like it's trying to be like a bolt. This looks like a Nerf bolt action that, again, somebody just like put a bunch of electrical tape around, and I don't know. They had live ammo with them. Seriously, what the fuck is the...
I'm not going to buy the book. I don't need the book. I don't want the book.
Watch doing there? The ketamine I get. You know, just in case you gotta sedate a horse.
They'll teach him to break curfew. We'll take his watch.
Just get mugged by the police. That shit, I'm getting your wallet. So this one is not actually a cursed gun image, but it looks like one.
Was that a cursed cowardly dog shout out?
And I will explain. Do you know what that is? Oh, so let me explain. So that right there is a Colt 32. It's a piece of wood that was carved out to be roughly in the shape of a gun that John Dillinger used to escape prison. Yeah, legit. Well, I think he had it like under a jacket and did that whole thing. and was able to actually apprehend a guard where he got an actual gun and then proceeded to escape prison. They have that on display at the Mob Museum in Las Vegas. I actually got to see it the time before last. And apparently, so I had asked the person there how they acquired it, and apparently, after John Dillinger escaped from prison, he he sent it to his father, who was apparently not very keen on some of Dillinger's extracurricular activities. But I think the sister got it, and it stayed.
Part about getting a real gun is false, but I am not familiar enough with his escape to be able to comment on it. So cool.
In the family, where it was later donated to the Mob Museum, which is really cool. While not actually being a Colt 32, it is a very, very neat piece of history. But that leads me to something that is a little bit more cursed and actually a gun. I think his cock's still in the Smithsonian or something like that. Okay, no, this is a real, it's a real urban legend anyway, because, yeah, fact check. Is John Dillinger's penis on display in the Smithsonian? No.
No, and you're a freak.
What is your
No, why do
timing?
you keep asking? Anyway, one of the things that is of John Dillinger that actually is on display is this little number. This, I believe, is a Colt 1911 in 38 Super with a
I've seen this
front
one.
Thompson
I want one.
foregrip,
It's never
like
gonna
a Navy
happen.
Thompson foregrip with an extended magazine, and yes, it was converted to full auto. I love the muzzle brake included as well for, muzzle ride.
There's also real ones that didn't involve what it took to this. Yeah, this may be built out of an actual just fully automatic Colt, because 1911, because there are actual full automatic 1911s. They are super duper rare, but they exist.
Guys, this was like the race pistol of the day. The funny part is the person responsible, I'm pretty sure if I've done my reading correctly, the person responsible for this, cursed piece of history actually ran his gunsmithing shop out of San Antonio. It was like somewhere downtown, I think that's pretty neat. Yes, I'm excited for this one because not only is this a great addition to Cursed Gun Images, but we are actually in the middle of recreating one of these. Just because I'm a big history buff, I like all sorts of history. Mob history is really cool. And so as cursed as this thing is, I want one. It will have a fun switch, and yes, it has to be 38 Super because fuck you. But moving on, speaking of cursed pistols,
I am happy.
Somebody sent this one to me. This is a Ruger 22. The mod light, pressure switch, optic, and again, no crack pipe, but we do have the bottle of 99 grapes laying next to it. I don't know what the fuck that actually is, but holy shit, actually, Jesus. 50% alcohol? 49.5? You could probably start a fucking car with what they used for inspiration on this one. But you know what's not cursed? Opening.
That is a horrifying amount of alcohol, and I want another look at that thing. $99 proof. Ooh. It almost looks like the barrel is bending down. Oh my gosh. This is not an expensive version of the Ruger 22, which the expensive version of the Ruger 22 is not very expensive. But that's just a clamp on. That's not even a clamp on. Hold on. That is a clamp on. That is one of those little plastic friction fit things that just snap over to hold like something onto a plastic chair or something. That's not even clamped on. If this was anything but 22, that whole upper sight, which is a nightmare on its own, would not stay on. Actually, it might not stay on anyways. Half alcohol schnapps. That person is not steady. The shaking of the hand could very easily knock that off. Any meaningful recoil, which 22 doesn't have, is also going to knock that off. But yeah, that person is going to have a super duper weak grip. And probably, yeah, I don't think that's saying on.
Hey, 50% alcohol, 49.5. You could probably start a fucking car with what they used for inspiration on this one. But you know what's not cursed? Opening up your monthly tack pack. Got this knife at one of our veterans events. It's very fucking sharp and I'm terrified of it. Let's see what we got in here. That actually just cut through the cardboard because I missed the tape. Oh shit, this is actually
I have a couple knives like that. I love them.
TacPack is the ultimate tactical box subscription company where you can get tactical shit such as AR-15 parts. Okay, this is normally where I throw stuff. That's a hair.
Yeah.
Waiter, send my TacPack back. AR-15 parts. SOG knives. Synthwave band merch. Belly band holsters, gloves, and the water bottle I use at the gym. All of this and more could be yours if you just subscribe to TacPack using the links down in the description and in the pinned comment. You can also get this cool piece of paper that tells me that if you use code MAY590, you get a free tactical gift, bringing the total box value to $590. I believe that's for your TacPack Plus. The next 4 TacPacks will provide major upgrades for your rifle. Make sure to get signed up and stick around for the summer for some awesome gear. Like I said, the links are down in the description and in the pinned comment for that. We appreciate TacPack for being a consistent sponsor of the channel. Speaking of which, if you've ever wanted to get your start in gunsmithing and weapons technology and not make cursed bullshit like we've been talking about the entire fucking video, you could check out the Sonoran Desert Institute or SDI.edu using the links down in the description and in the pinned comment. They're a great sponsor of the channel. We greatly appreciate them. Back to dog shit cursed gun images. Now, you've probably seen this before, and we might have covered it on Cursed Gun Images before, this meme of, fuck you, unbullpups your AUG. Which, like, the unbullpupped AUG looks. I don't know how to feel. But, as it turns out, some mad lad actually did it.
Does. I'm not, oh my
The
God.
log.
The log.
It's wood.
The log.
The log. It's better than bad, it's good.
I hate that I want one.
Not only did they unbullpup the AUG, but they gave it like an absurdly long barrel. They did it. They did the meme. No, that barrel, seriously, like how fucking long is that barrel? Is it that has to be like 26 inches. Like that's absurd.
John Dillinger barrel.
The only question running through my mind with this thing is why?
Because you can, and it honestly, put a drum on it, it looks like a decent LMG platform.
To which undoubtedly the answer is, why not? And you know what? Keep up that spirit. We didn't make scientific breakthroughs by doing things the normal way. We did it by doing dumb shit like tying a fucking key to a kite and getting electrocuted. Trailblazing, pathfinding. It's what makes America America. Not in this case. I don't think that's going anywhere. But I like the sentiment. Mom, I want
he's
SPOS
not
12.
wrong.
No, son, we have SPOS 12 at home.
When he's not wrong when you think about the kite experiment, it's like, wait a minute, that was actually a really stupid idea.
Mom, I want SPOS 12. No, son, we have SPOS 12 at home. SPOS 12 at home.
Oh my gosh.
The brass knuckles are actually so ghetto, maybe this should have gone in the beginning of the video. I just don't know. Do you think they have enough extra shotgun shells on this fucking thing? I think there's probably room on there. They could fit a couple more. Although Chesty Puller would approve.
If you're doing this, you're using a shotgun with a plug that only has 2 in the tube and 1 in the barrel if it's having a good day. The bayonet does in fact look plastic as well. You are correct. No. You are literally reloading every other shot.
Of the use of the bayonet. Now this one, I don't know how to feel about, to be honest. A 3D printed chassis for a black powder pirate pistol. Keck or cringe? You call it.
It would not be the worst idea if instead of this, complete trash clamp-on sight was in fact mounted onto the 3D printed mounting system that you should have included if you're doing this. I do not inherently hate the idea of 3D printing platforms for black powder just because you can. This is a bad execution of it.
Pirate pistol. Keck or cringe?
Also, did you have to use the Glock grip and pistol?
You call it.
Call it.
The thing is, because it's already it's black powder, it's already not a firearm legally. So like you could just fucking buy one. But no, you just 3D print one too, I guess. Arrgh, me layer.
It's, for me at least, if I think about this, it would not be about 3D printing it because laws, regulations, or whatever. It would be 3D printing it to not do what this idiot did and like do the tactical thing because you can type deal. This is very much a because you can 3D print, except they can't. After all this, they can't.
Airlines are showing. Me ma won't let me shop at Cabela's.
I've been bad.
That wench says I be needing to get me grades up first.
And can you cut the crust off the PB&J?
What the fuck is this show, man? Speaking of shit, what in the sci-fi bullshit is this AK? So it's supposed to be an AK underfolder here, but it seems that people have just attached whatever the fuck they found at Lowe's. I guess it's supposed to be like an air canister or something in the back. There's like pipe fittings and shit where the stock is, well, what's supposed to be a stock. This has to be airsoft. That bipod is what...
It is either airsoft or it was airsoft and someone turned it into like a prop or a cosplay. Because I don't think that's the correct recoil, not recoil spring, buffer spring mounting in the back, for one thing. That looks like it's plastic, it's been replaced. It looks like it's plastic to begin with, and a lot of it's been replaced or painted. I don't think this started life as a real firearm, and I'm not entirely sure it started life as an airsoft gun. I think it's a plastic AK that someone turned into a steampunk or Flash Gordon style prop.
fucked with me. It's why I included this, because I just couldn't.
That's just the spotter off of a cheap telescope. You know, you get some of those telescopes that have like a secondary little scope that like helps you aim it at the right place before you look at the big scope. That looks like one of the ones off of the cheap kids ones. This is very probably never was a real gun to begin with.
Could not stop thinking that looks like the fucking spider thing from Wild Wild West.
Oh my gosh.
Nice to see
The gun looks
invention
like
that actually
Wild
works.
Wild West.
Anybody else remember that movie? Like, that happened, right? I think
Yep.
Will Smith turned down like a very serious. He turned down the Matrix for that
Matrix.
movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that worked out. Now this next piece is a piece of history. You might remember.
Will Smith legitimately thought the Matrix would go nowhere. Hi, Keanu Reeves. And went with Wild Wild West instead, which I kind of wish had gone further. It's a dumb having fun here movie, but we don't get a lot of steampunk, and they put some actual effort into the steampunk tech. Like the script wasn't great, but the prop people did absolutely earn their paychecks. the prop team 100% could have looked at the script and said, we're not going to try, but they didn't. And they tried, and it came out glorious. The props are amazing.
The Liberator. No, not that one. You know, the super cheap to make single shot pistol that was made
I
for
wanna watch that again.
a piece of history. You might remember the Liberator. No, not that one. You know, the super cheap to make single shot pistol that was made for the purpose of airdropping into areas like, for example, Nazi occupied France for the French resistance. I think they're super neat. I own one because, fucking course. But what I didn't know is that they made a carbine version. Introducing the Longberator.
No. Bad. I hate that it kinda looks okay. I hate that it kind of looks okay. Except the barrel looks like it's drooping again. If it weren't for this bit, which is barely a firearm, it kind of looks like some of those target rifles.
Nah, that doesn't sound right. It appears to be a Liberator that somebody made a stock and forearm for, which kind of does harken back to like some of the carbine versions of, for example, the Luger. So like, is it cursed? Yeah, it is. Especially adding the Picatinny rail on top with the red dot. But even that
barrel is
wasn't
100% drooping.
Now you had to go a step farther and add a suppressor to the end.
Of course. What is that height over bore? I just realized that. Your barrel is down here. Your sight is up here. You're not getting any cheek weld. You're like shooting with your head all the way up. With a 45 ACP, even with that barrel, it is going at like 40 miles an hour coming out of the end of the gun. It is that you want your sight as low down as possible. That thing's aim is going to that thing's going to be canted down significantly.
All right. I think the thing that I hate most about this is that it actually it doesn't really look bad. Like I'm gonna probably burn for saying that, but I don't know. I'm a sucker for wood. Speaking of wood, I would like to go home now. So I had to include this one. This is from Bear Creek Arsenal. Our friends at Bear Creek, they just dropped what is, by all accounts, probably going to be the worst American-made AK of all time. And they've got some stiff competition in that regard. But yeah, they just dropped a teaser, apparently, for their new AK line. And in their own teaser, I had to put it here because I don't know where the fuck else I would put it, because this is just cursed as shit. To show off their incredible manufacturing, they dropped this image of their front sight.
That's supposed to be centered. Yeah, you don't want your customers to see that. I've seen cheap plastic toys with better front sights. What the? That's horrible.
This is what an AK front sight post is supposed to look like. See
Yeah.
that little drum, that little, like that round part that's sticking out too far on one side? That's called the front sight drum. You can adjust that left to right for windage. Usually because when manufactured, your AK sight was fucking crooked, meaning they didn't put it on correctly. So to have it pushed all the way to one side, not unheard of, right? But elevation-wise, you thread that little post in and out to, raise and lower your height, your elevation. There's a sticking up out of the fucking sight post. If that's what it took to zero that gun, you need to quit. It's like Bear Creek Arsenal is like always supposed to be like just like garbage tier stuff, like super cheap. They can't sue me for saying this part because it's objectively true. Do you remember when they had to shut down a while back, temporarily at least, because ICE raided their facility and arrested a shitload of their employees? How are you able to get prices so low? We don't hire Americans. They were using so much Mexican labor, it might have been a fucking ITAR violation. Anyway, feast your eyes on Gucci Sten. Yes, this is a World War II Sten gun. Aluminum folding stock. AR pistol grip adapter.
Clamp on sight. Clamp on rails.
Clamp on red dot sight, 4N, suppressor, flashlight, the whole 9 yards. This gun in particular.
If you didn't use this giant wedge block, though I think you might have to actually for AR, and just gave it a pistol grip, that on its own isn't the worst plan. But that's also it from this entire thing. For reference, a massive chunk of World War II Sten guns were built in bike shops for less than $1 each. This is fully automatic historical junk with Mall Ninja equipment clamped onto it.
Particular is just funny to me, just because the entire point of the Sten was the British government going, oh fuck, we just lost all our shit at Dunkirk. We need to crank out as many submachine guns as we possibly can for as cheap as we can. So they took a bunch of bicycle parts and made it kith with a 9mm barrel, and then you ended up with the Sten. A submachine gun that could be made as easily and cheaply as possible. And then every part that was added to this from here is probably more expensive than the gun itself cost to make. This is like taking your Casio.
The British government panics about people knowing how to make them because you can make them in bike shops out of bike parts.
Watch and giving it a Rolex band. Also, I love it when the fucking Brit bongs get super pissed when I shit on the Sten. Like, I don't actually dislike the Sten, I just like to make British people upset. Been doing it for 250 fucking years, baby. And this next one I'm just including because it reminds me of the Sharps with the scope from like, the outlaw Josie Wales.
Called the Missouri boat ride.
Like, you know, scope technology's gotten better over the last, 160 years. But no, it looks like you're gonna be using this thing to shoot the fucking rope on that river ferry. This next one kinda hurts. Because it was built on a really cool AK. Behold, a crink. Kinda.
Oh my gosh.
You got a hose clamp attaching what I can only assume is a shovel for a stock. I mean,
I was about to say, is this the shovel stock AK? I have seen the shovel stock AK before. It is continuing.
All that's what us AK guys are kind of known for. And I mean, the elephant in the room is the fucking seatbelt receiver there on the the side of the receiver. Is that what you'd call that? Like a seatbelt? A female end of a seatbelt? What the fuck do you call that? Yeah, it's a little receptacle. Oh, that sounds dirty. Seatbelt female receptacle.
You're not the only one cursed with knowledge.
I only have one guess, and I really hope this is the case. I hope somebody has like a single point sling that they've just attached to the male end of that seatbelt. It's just like a fucking Baltic QD mount, essentially. Improvise, adapt, buckle up. Now this next one is coming to me from Pakistani Instagram. Showed up in my feed one day in between clips of the Artemis 2 launch and Indians being hit by trains.
I worked on that. I haven't said a lot about it. I worked on Artemis 2. Now, this was years ago. No, not Artemis 2. On the whole rocket. This was years ago. But I've been super excited because, one, we're going back to the moon, which is just cool. And two, I helped make that happen. And I'm going to let you wonder how.
In between clips of the Artemis 2 launch and Indians being hit by trains. This appears to be
I have no context for the other one.
A milled AK. outfitted with like Setme furniture, I think. I love also when they flip it over there at the end. They flip the weapon over. You can see that they have, and this is like
well, what were they
a
thinking?
signature move of Kyber Pass. Like we've shown some of like their counterfeit shit before in the past, like counterfeit locks and whatever. They'll counterfeit maker marks. So if you look on the side of the receiver, they've got the big K there, which is likely ripping off of like Kalashnikov Concern, like the Kalashnikov factory in Russia now, as if Kalashnikov would actually make something like this. Honestly, it'd be pretty fucking cool if they did, but
I mean, they've tried a couple times, and the Russian government has told them no.
Yeah, frankly, this is hard to hate. Is it a little botched? Like,
it looks like a hybrid between an AK and a G3 or a FAL. It's not the worst, assuming it runs.
Yes, it's like it's a Frankenstein's monster, but again, it comes back down to wood. I think if you do the wood well, I'm gonna stop. 4 out of 10. I'd still buy it. Now, the next one is actually a repeat. This is one that we had, I think, on the last episode of Cursed Gun Images, but we've got a little bit of an update. I mean, what looks to be like PPS 43 parts kit, a high point upper, or whatever the fuck that thing is, Thompson foregrip. I mean, this entire thing is just... Remember, kids, don't do drugs. But it turns out this and one other submission that we used in the last episode of Cursed Gun Images were both made by the same mad scientist, a guy by the name of Trench Rat Customs, who then offered to do a cursed build-off, or challenged me to, I think, a cursed gun build-off or whatever, to which I would say, buddy, you have clearly missed my intention with these cursed gun videos. I don't like them. I don't want to make more of them. Are they funny? Yeah, but kind of like in the same way as like somebody getting hit by a car on Instagram. Man, I really need to cleanse my feed. It's bad. Yeah. You know it's bad, but you can't look away. And that's what makes the comedy. That being said, your work is inspiring. Inspiring for good? Probably not. But entertaining nonetheless. Maybe that's a better word. People are asking, you know, oh, this guy wants to come on the channel. Would you have him on? And can we get him on the channel? And to those people, I would say, come on. Every time somebody makes a video like this, like, we're not just gonna invite them on the channel. We got a lot of stuff lined up, very busy schedule. There's a lot of shit we got going on. Like, we're not just gonna drop everything every time something like this happens. So to answer your question, yeah, sure, fuck it, why not? Trench Rat, if you wanna come out to San Antonio, hang out, see the shop.
He was dwelling on it long enough that I knew it was gonna happen.
Maybe bring out a couple of your toys. Offers open. But with that business cleaned up, that ends this episode of Cursed Gun Images. Hope you guys got it out of your system, fucking degenerates. If you're new to the channel, this is far from the first episode of this we've done. There's a huge backlog of Cursed Gun Images video and a bunch of other stuff we've done on the channel. So if you want to see more of that, first of all, what the fuck is wrong with you? Second of all, you can go ahead and subscribe down below and click the notification bell so YouTube can't fuck me on not sending you notifications. As always, I appreciate every single one of you for staying to the end of the video. And I will see you sexy YouTube mother lovers in the next one. Seek God. Bye.
It's my obsession to make the perfect weapon, like Rasputin's rise to the top. But can I shit can stop, 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 can stop.
Do I have to? As always, I'm your host, Brandon Barbera, and today, oh fuck. Following two search warrants in the fuck.
Next time.
Then just exact Elvis in the ghetto. Actually, the Carbon one's funnier. In the ghetto. Hello, blooper reel.
Yep.